resources. So all resources are shared and public. Okay. Alright. First thing first, take a photo of your because once I take photo, then I can upload here, then it's right there already. Huh?
Yes.
You do it in order.
Yes, I did it.
Very good. By the way, one thing good about you is your handwriting and your solution are very clear. Okay, unlike some of my other students.
But
very messy.
I usually like minus like marks in my solutions.
Again.
Like
you get penalized?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of statement.
No statement.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That one is I call it the tiny details we need to settle. But right now I want to focus on the concept first. Means like I want to make sure that you know how to do the questions. So when it comes to the tiny little details, right, then we will touch up later on. Because I want to focus on the concept first. I mean, you know how to do a question first. Huh? Okay, good. You see already? Very fast. This is the one, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. I want to put it side by side. Okay, let's make sure that the sound and everything is good. Alright? Okay, good. So I will just get the paper out as well. Here, then katong goes. Okay. First question. I think for the I hope you see that this is a mid-year paper. So for a mid-year paper, so basically anything before mid-year you will be tested here, like your term 1, term 2 all together. So that's why you see questions like this. So in a way, right, I'm preparing you for end of year. Okay. So but you have not learned term 3 and term 4 material, so I cannot give you term 3 and term 4. That's why I cannot give you the final paper. So I give you the mid-year first, just to let you get ready for your final. Okay, so that's my plan. Okay, first question. I hope you have no problem with like significant figure and decimal places. Okay,
Yeah.
so let me just give you a if you already know, I think it's good. But if you don't know, then you better learn from this onwards. So the one significant figure versus one decimal places. Okay, so what's the difference? So if given this question, let's say given this question, so for one significant figure, right, what you do is so the first, so there is something you need to remember, is the first non-zero number is the first significant figure. Okay, so this is the key when you do significant figure. First non-zero number, NO with a dot here is number. Okay, so first non-zero number is the first significant figure. So therefore for this question 0.012, this is not. This is your first. And this is the second. So you want to have first significant figure, therefore after the first significant figure you just write a line, you just draw a line. Then ask yourself whether the 2 will give you a 1 or will not give you a 1 to the front number. So 2 is less than 5, right? So you don't have to give it a 1, right? So therefore the answer is 0.01 to 1 significant figure.
Then how do you know if you have to put what if it's like 0.010?
Very good. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about that soon. But let me finish the one decimal places for this question first. Very good question. That one is so many students get it wrong. So for this, you don't care. For decimal places, for one decimal places, This is the first. This is the second. Okay? There is no non-zero. Okay? There is no non. So the first is this. So you just ask yourself whether your 1 will give you a 1. I mean, will give you a 1 or give you nothing to the front number. So in this case, it gives you nothing because it's less than 5. Okay? Like you say. So therefore, the 1 decimal places is 0.0. Yes. Okay? Understand? So okay?
Yes.
Then you are asking this. Okay. So for this question, right? Let's say for this question, let me ask you, how many significant figures you have here? How many significant figures for this one?
2.
2. Then what about this? How many significant figure for this one?
1.
1. Yeah. So you have already answered yourself. So if they ask you to represent this in 2 significant figure, you have to put the 0. Okay? If they ask you for 1 significant figure, then you just have to, I mean, you can ignore the 0.
So
Okay.
if like they say it's like one, if they say it's 1 significant
Then
figure,
you should pick this up.
then it'll be the 0.009.
Correct. Yeah. So if they, let's say they give you this 0.009. Yeah, if they ask, I want to 2 significant figure. So you add a 0 behind. If they ask for 3, add 1 more 0.
What if it's like 0.090, then they ask for 1 significant. So do
Then
I still
this
have
is
to
1,
put-
right?
Yeah.
Ask yourself whether you need to give a 1 or 0 in front. So in this case, you don't give anything in front, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, this is
Not
ignore.
needed.
Let's say if you write 0.090, how many significant figures here? 2, right?
2.
The question asks for 1, right?
Yes.
Then you know that you are, then you know this is 2, the question asks for 1, it makes sense for you to get rid of the 0, right? Does it make sense when you get rid of 0? Yeah.
Yes.
So always, let's say you get the answer already, then you always go back to the question. How many figures, how many SF they want? Okay? If they want 1, then you better show 1 only. Okay? If they want 2, then you give it another 0.
Okay.
Alright? Okay, good. So yeah, so this is the concept you need to know about significant figures. Okay, next, so I think for this I don't want to go through too much because I will just too simple. Okay, unless you have questions. What about here? Factorize. I
I
think
need question B.
B, right?
Yes.
B is actually quite simple because B is already like give like actually they have done B. Actually B is 50% done by them. In fact, they are not supposed to give you like so easy one. Okay, so for this, in fact, right, for B, right, generally they should give you in this format instead of like give you. So they should not give you this. They should give you this
Why?
because this is much harder than this. If they give you, in this format, right, it means it's a giveaway. Giveaway means what? Like donation 咯，送你咯。So let me continue. So if they give you in this format already, then it's pretty simple, right? What's common?
The
A plus 2B, right?
Yes.
I mean the entire thing, bracket,
plus
is
2B,
common.
yes.
So you just take out the common thing. So once you take out the common thing, gone, right?
Yes.
So gone, then you are left with 2 minus y. That's it. Yeah.
Well, I know where's my mistake.
Yeah, where's your mistake? You go and expand it, is it?
No, I think I copy it wrongly.
Or you copy it wrongly. Okay, never mind. They are not supposed to give you in this format. Okay, never mind. So now,
So I think that's why I got it wrong.
okay, so what if I give you in this format? Okay, let's assume that, okay, can you flip to the last page? You have some empty space.
Yes.
Can you do this instead? You know how I get this format? I
Yes.
expand it. Okay, good. See if you can get the answer. Do you still remember the factorization of 4 terms? What's the first step? Factorization of 4 terms. What did I teach you
like to
last week?
separate the
Yes, separate.
thingy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
And then like
do this.
like label the
Yeah.
thing out.
Yeah. Something. Yeah. So you do this one first, then you do this one later, then later after that you combine, then continue. Okay. Yeah. Please follow this and see if you can get the answer correctly. Do you need a cup of water from me?
No thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Is it correct?
Okay, good. So you just compare this to your. Do you have the answer just now?
No.
Okay, good. So you're supposed to get this.
Yes.
Okay, good. So just quickly, let me quickly run through this and then just to make sure that you really understand the steps. For me, the steps are so important because if the steps are correct, then your answer should come. Okay. So for this, you just do the first two first. Then like I say, you can see it this way now. If you don't see it this way, then never mind. Just see it another way. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I try to split into individual elements or
Yes.
individual factors so that I can see common factor. So for this one, I see 2 as the common factor. So if 2 is common, then just take out then. Okay, so since I'm using technology, so it's even worse. It's even better. Just erase, right? So if I erase, then it's very neat, right? Then for this, same thing. I can take out minus 1 y a. This is minus 2 y b, right?
Yes.
Then what is common? Very simple.
Why?
Y. Okay, in fact, right, if you see y as common, right, it's also correct, but it's also correct if you take up, let's say you instead of minus 1 and minus 2, right, you can also see it as minus y. Okay, it's not wrong, it's just that, you understand me? It's not wrong, but it's another way to look at it. So let me just get the minus y instead of the minus to the 1 and 2. Okay. Okay, so let's say if I get the minus y. So I see minus y is common, so I take out minus y. So I'm left with 1a, then I'm left with 2b.
Yes.
Nothing in between, default plus. Okay? Nothing in between here, right?
Yeah.
If I erase. Right? If I erase it, so left with 1a, left with 2b, nothing in between, default plus. Then, can you see? 2 and minus y, and then this is common, right? Can you see?
Yes.
Okay, good. So 2 minus y. And a plus 2.
Does
Okay.
it like like if I put a plus 2b first
Hold on.
and 2 minus y at the back, does it like
So yes, very good question. So can I ask you, a times b and b, okay, a times b is equal to b times a, right?
yes.
Okay, so because of the it's times, so the order of it does not matter. Okay, but the general convention, like what we always how we always do things is, if we are having 2ab, right, versus 2ba, right, we tend to write 2ab,
Yes.
number first, then alphabetical order. Okay, but for this, right, there is no priority here because this one and this one, they are both letter and number, so there is no priority for these two. So you are correct whether you put this one first or you put this one next. But when it comes to, let's say if you next time end up with 2bc, no, sorry, maybe I give you another example, is 2yab. So the rule of thumb is, the way we used to do things is we put the number first, then of course then we follow the alphabetical order. Okay, even you write it in this manner, it's not wrong, but you know the convention. You know. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Next, do you have problem with this question 3?
I'm not sure.
Okay, from means this one first. You just write this first. From means you write this first, then subtract just minus. So when you minus, okay, so just I think I can emphasize this question again. So just minus, then this whole thing so must put a bracket. Okay, must put a bracket. Let me get it to the.
If it's like before the bracket is a minus, the bracket after you take out the bracket is a minus, right?
Okay, good. So now my way of opening bracket is this. I always like to call this is the first arrow, this is the second arrow. Okay, so anything, so basically anything before the minus sign I just copy down, because I'm not doing anything to them, right? But now the minus sign kick in, the first arrow you get minus 5. Then you always come back. Can you see my arrow? It's always from the minus sign to the 5, so it's minus 5, and then for the next term is minus this. So in fact, right, the answer is minus 10x, but what is actually in between is minus plus 10x.
Yes.
Yeah, minus plus 10. Then because of minus plus, then you get minus. You understand? Yes. So therefore it's minus. Okay, so now, right, now comes to the part that you need to underline similar terms and combine similar terms.
Yes.
Okay? So this one is x squared term. I don't see another x squared term. X cubed term. I don't see another x cubed term. So I see that 5 minus 5, gone. Right?
Yes.
Then minus 11, minus 10, so minus 21. So this is the answer. So how you arrange them, right, is up to you. But at least you should get these 3 terms. Do you get these 3 terms?
No, how do you get the minus 21x?
Okay, let's go back. Okay, so this one is gone, right?
Yes.
Can you see minus 10x, minus 11x? Yes. So minus 10 and minus 11, you use your calculator.
Oh, so it's negative 10x
negative 10.
minus 11.
Yes. So negative 10, negative 11.
So it's 21. Negative 21.
Yeah, negative 21. So I combine. Yeah. So negative 21. So you are supposed to get
So it's not 11x minus 10x.
Do you know why it's not 11x? Can I take a look? Oh, yes. I have it here. Sorry, never mind. I can take it from here. Let me just get rid of it. I will take it here. Actually a lot of students make the mistakes like you just now. Open it here. Okay, so in order not to make your mistake again, like you end up with 1x, right?
Yeah.
It's very important that you know that what? So underline similar term. Let me zoom in. Can you see clearly?
Yes.
So 5 minus 5,
0.
then minus 11x minus 10x. Then the rest is on its own. You cannot combine. Okay. So 5 minus 5, just use your calculator lah. 5 minus 5, 0. Okay, gone. Right? Then now comes the minus 11x minus 10x. You just ask yourself, minus 11x minus 10x. It's minus 21x. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So it's minus 21x.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know why you get 1x. Unless you tell me this is plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not plus. Right. So what I suggest you to do next time, right, just let the calculator solve this for you. I know sometimes our brain, right, someone playing tricks on us. So just let the calculator do the calculation for you. Okay? Okay? So sometimes let's say you get 10 minus 10x, right? Plus 9x, right? Don't try to use your brain. Just let the calculator do just key in minus 10 plus 9, see what you get. Okay?
Yes.
Just let the calculator do the calculation for you. Okay? next. This one. No, this is the other one. Okay, good. Next. So this is something new. Maybe not new lah. Like I will say you should learn inequality before, but not in depth. So today I want you to know this, how to solve inequality. Okay, so I will say something more advanced, not new but more advanced than your school. Let me just get this out.
Did we learn like this, like in term 2 or term?
No, actually you have learned this before, but not as in depth like this question. But you are expected to know. Okay, that's why I will say later you will know one. Okay, so solve the inequality. So okay, before solving the inequality, right? Inequality means unequal lah, like bigger, smaller is called unequal. So this is equality in a way, equation. Okay, so what's the difference when solving this and this? Okay, how do you solve the equation? Very simple. Divide by -3 here, then of course you need to divide by -3 here, right? Then you get what? So you get 1, you get x, and then you get this one, right? 1 more minus.
Why do you divide by 3?
Divide by -3.
Yeah, why that?
So that you get x ma. You want to find the x value. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, what I'm trying to say is, let's say you get 2x equals to 5, right? So the step for you is, in fact, what you are doing here is you divide by 2 here, and then you divide by 2 here. So then therefore you get 5/2. Then of course you have to simplify, right? It's 2.5 or 2.5. You cannot express it in improper fraction, by the way. Okay, final answer must be simplest form. Simplest form means proper fraction. Okay, so what a lot of students, what they I'm not sure if they know what they are doing here lah, but actually you divide by 2 on both sides. So okay, then for the below one is you divide by -3 on both sides, then you get this. So you can also write it normally lah, we write the x on the left hand side. You just switch place. Okay, okay, good. Now we are dealing with inequality now. The difference between inequality and equation, right? You just have to remember, for inequality, if you times or divide by negative number, let me just use the short form. By negative number, switch or reverse. Later I will explain it. Reverse the sign. Okay, reverse the sign. Sign means this. Okay.
Yes.
So this is the bigger and equal lah. So if you ever need to times or divide by a negative number, then you switch or reverse the sign. So in this case, you divide by -3x, right? -3. You divide by -3, right?
Yes.
So
does it mean it times?
Divide. You can also consider it's times, but it's times -1/3. You can also see it as times -1/3. But it does not matter. Whether it's times or divide by a negative number, we need to switch or reverse the sign. So in this case, right, you divide by a negative number on both sides. So this one will give you divide by -3, you will get x here. Then for this one, you will get 2 over negative, right?
Yes.
And then you need to switch the sign or reverse the sign. So just now is this side, right? Bigger, equal, right? So you need to switch. So actually the answer is this. This is just the way it is. This is a rule. So the difference between the solving an equation and the and the inequality is, if you ever need to times or divide by a negative number, you need to switch the sign. In this case, you switch because you divide by a negative number.
So the sign is the sign in the middle of the two numbers.
Yep, these two. Yep, this one. The inequality sign. Okay. So for equation, no need, because equal equal sign is equal sign 嘛 you no matter how you switch or reverse, equal is still equal 嘛 okay
Yes.
can so this is all you need to memorize. Okay, so if I can give you one more example, inequality. Okay, so this will this is the 3, this is the 5, they are common, and this is not common.
Yes.
That means different from the other two, right?
Yeah.
So I need to move the 3 over,
So it's
becomes minus 3, right?
yes.
And over here 2, right?
Yes.
So what I need to do, divide by
2.
minus 2, right?
Yes.
So divide by minus 2.
So this is
So this is x, so this is minus 1. So I divide by a negative number. According to the rule, I need to reverse or switch the sign.
Okay.
Okay, can you see I reverse?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is the answer. Can? Can or not?
Yes.
Okay, so for hold on, okay, no. Just want to get a few more blank pages. So if you get 2x over 5, so you divide by 2 here, right? You divide by 2 here. Is it positive or negative? It's positive, right? Do you need to switch the sign?
No.
No. So
it will be like still
yeah, so
unless in front is unless it's a negative, there's a negative answer
yeah.
number inside.
Yeah.
You need to like move the switch the sign.
So you just need to remember that statement, lor. If you just if you need to times or divide by the negative number, then you switch the sign. Just remember this statement. Okay?
Okay.
If you divide or you times a positive number, same as this. Okay?
Okay.
Just remember this. So next, so by the way, I have taught you how to solve inequality already, just by showing you this example. Okay, so there is a very slight difference only. Okay, so now then we go to answer this question. So what I say, if x is an integer that satisfies this, so I need to rewrite this so x, so the bigger sign is, okay, since I switched the sign already
Yes.
the bigger sign point to the x so is this sign. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. So now I just represent the solution in the number line. So how do you represent in the number line? Huh?
How do you represent in a number line?
Yeah, exactly. So in fact you have learned this, but maybe you never really pay attention to, maybe or maybe your school just briefly touch upon. Okay, but never mind. So now we want to represent it on the number line. So okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3. Just write a few, and minus 1, minus 2. Okay, by the way, I'm not using I'm using freehand, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like hard to get the gap consistent. So for you, right, it's actually it's recommended you use a ruler, so that every 1 cm is one unit. Okay, so you just use a ruler to make sure that this is 1 cm, this is 1 cm, this is 1 cm. Why? Because even though this sketch we don't need to be super accurate, but you can't be too off target. Meaning some students they are very ridiculous. They tell me this is 1 and then they show me this is 2. Does it make sense? No, right? So you are telling me 1 unit here is this much, but your suddenly 1 unit is how many fingers? 1, 2, 3. You understand me? So you cannot be too ridiculous,
Yes.
even though you use freehand. So like I say, be reasonable.
Yes.
Okay, so but you have rulers with you, so you try to make use of a ruler so that you get a consistent spacing. Okay, so now where do you think the minus 2/3 is? So you just punch your calculator. Can you help me punch your calculator into a decimal number so I can see it easily? Minus 0. Okay, good. So if 0. Minus um, minus 0.5 is here, so minus 0.6 is somewhere here, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I just plot that point. Accurate enough, but not too ridiculous. So this is your negative 2/3. Okay? Okay, with this, now remember there is an equal sign here.
Yes.
So with an equal sign, right, it's a solid dot. This dot must be big enough. It's like a circle. With an equal sign, it's a solid dot. So I'm comparing it to this without a solid sign. So probably let me represent the red one with a solid dot because there is an equal sign. Without an equal sign, hollow. Okay? Bigger, right or left? Bigger than this number. So it's right. Okay, good. So if I represent the black without the equal sign, I should draw this. If I use a ruler, use a ruler so that it's straight. Okay. So to represent the red one with the equal sign is here, the below one. To represent the black one without the equal sign, you use the above one. That's how you represent this inequality on the number line.
So we have to draw that two lines, the black and red.
Oh, the black one no need. I just demo to you without the equal sign what is going to be. So if I just need to represent this in this case, so this is good enough.
You just need a red color dot.
Red color solid dot. Solid means, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Then this is the way to represent
this. Bigger.
Yeah, bigger and equal.
Yeah, bigger.
Okay. Then now you can answer the question already. Write down the least value of least means smallest. Yes. X is a prime number. Then you read. Yeah, 2. Yes. Yeah. Right. X is a rational number. What's a rational number?
Rational number is number like has more factors.
Okay. So in fact, the first does not sound right, but maybe I can talk about it in more details here. So for rational number, let me create one more. Okay, so we start with real numbers. When it comes to real numbers, you have rational and irrational. So you need to remember this number 3 in a way. So for irrational numbers, so what are some examples of irrational numbers? Square root 2. Pi. So what's the pattern like for irrational number? Can you square root 2? What's the answer?
It's like the answer is like infinity.
Yeah, can you just give me the first few?
1.421.
1.421. Okay, good. Say and on and on. Yes. This one is 3.14. On and on. So for irrational number, they have no pattern at all, and it is indefinite. Remember this. Indefinite plus no pattern. So it's pretty easy to identify irrational number. So for rational number, you branch out to integer, you branch out to fraction, you branch out to let me show you the example. 1.3 with a dot above. What's the meaning of 1.3 with a dot above? It's 1.3 all the way. Okay? So this one compared to this, right? This one is with a pattern.
Yeah.
3. This one is without a pattern. Okay? So that's why this one fall under rational. So therefore, fraction, I think it's very simple, right? Fraction can be 2 over 3, right? Then 1 over 4,
Yes.
then negative 2 over 3 as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Integer, you
Yes.
can also split into positive integer, 0, and then negative integer. So positive integer like 3, negative integer like negative 27. Yeah, so this is the number 3.
So integer
Yeah.
consists of
Positive in,
0,
0, and
and
negative in. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Then fraction is very simple. Okay. Then this is has a pattern. Okay.
Yes.
So therefore, with this understanding, right? Then if you ask me which one is the smallest start from here, right?
Yes.
Then I just need to ask myself whether is this a counted or not counted. So this counted as the rational number, right? This is under negative fraction.
Yes.
Yeah. So the smallest is negative 2/3. Okay.
Yes.
So this is how you represent inequality. Okay. So actually you have learned this before. Let me show you, but without you realizing it. It's the beginning chapter. Maybe here. No, sorry. The use of this inequality sign is 1.6. So over here, right, just 2. So let's say I give you 2 and 4. So what inequality sign you put in? You put in the
4.
smaller, 2 smaller than 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in fact, you have learned about it here without you knowing. But of course, they never go so in depth to it, right?
Yeah.
Then this is 0.3333 all the way, so it's 0.3 with a dot above. That's how you represent. So compared to this one, of course, this is bigger. Then for this minus 3, like this is 0.25. Then of course this. Okay? Okay, so yeah. So yeah, they never really test you, but this is the concept. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the way to represent the inequality. Alright? Good. Next. Go back to your. Okay, good. They also give you this already. Yeah, start from 0, then you just mark it somewhere here, then you just continue. Write down the next 2 terms. So this is the next chapter number pattern I want to talk about. Actually, I've been talking about this one since P6. I think P6 they start to have this kind of question already.
Yes.
Yeah. So so the difference is minus 4. Plus 4.
Plus 4.
Yeah. So just write down first. So write down the next 2. I think it's super simple. It's just plus 4. So you get minus 46. Then minus 42. So you get these 2. Then write down the expression. You managed to write down the expression?
No.
Okay, good. So remember, so for number pattern of this kind, which means the difference, so I call this the difference.
Yes.
The difference is the same throughout. Stay same throughout, very consistent. Plus 4 so throughout, right? For this kind of pattern, there is a formula. The formula is first number plus the difference times the n minus 1. And I'm going to explain to you how you use it. So what's the first number in this case? In this series? Minus 62, right?
Yes.
What's the difference in this case?
Plus 4.
Plus 4, yes. You need to write down the plus 4 inside. So now you get this, n minus 1. So you just have to open the brackets. You do the times first.
Yes.
A lot of students, they do the minus 62 plus 4 first. No.
Yeah, times first.
Do times first, okay? Good, so it's 4n minus 4. So now, underline similar term. Hold on, just underline similar term. 这个 and this.
Yes.
Then this is on its own. So it's 4n minus 62 minus 4 is minus 66. Okay? Then, done. Using your answer in part A, find the 100th. Then just key in, 100th means key in the 100 into it.
So, Mr. Wu.
Yes.
So the thing is, right?
Mm.
If the first no plus difference times
First
n
number,
minus
yeah.
1, I can use it like most of the time.
For this pattern,
This kind of pattern question.
with the difference is the same throughout. Another pattern, of course, another formula or another approach. But for this particular one, you use this formula.
So if if the difference is the same
Throughout.
throughout, then I can use this kind.
Yes, use this formula, yes.
Okay.
Which is here. You need to memorize this. If you don't memorize, then next time this one come out, you cannot do. Okay? So, yeah. Then for the question C, right, I just sub in they want the 100th term. 100th term means the 100th one. The n is actually the which term. So n represents which term.
So it's 400 minus 66.
Correct. So if they want the 1000th term, then you key in the 1000 into this one.
Yes.
Okay. If they want the fifth term, then you key in the 5 into this. Okay. So now, for form an inequality for which this 8th term is the first positive term of the sequence. Good. So 4n minus 66. They say the first positive term. Right? First positive term means, okay, you start with negative 64, is it? Start with, and all the way, right? They want to know the first positive term. You can see, right, it's negative until it's positive. So to be positive means this whole thing must be bigger than 0. Then you can solve the inequality. How to solve inequality? We talked about it just now. 4n. Move this over. 66. So we divide by 4, right? Do we need to switch the sign?
Is it negative 66?
No, this is minus 66 ma.
Oh,
we move forward is plus, right? Yeah, good. So we divide by 4, right?
Yes.
So divide by 4, you get n. Divide by 4. Can you help me out with a fraction or decimal?
33.
66 divided by 4.
Yes, 33 over 2.
No, I don't want this. Give me either a mixed number or a decimal number.
16 and half.
Okay, 16.5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 16.5. Do we need to switch the sign?
Yes.
Why?
No, because it's not negative.
No, okay, good. So that means this n is bigger than 16.5. But you know, like this is the first term, this is the second term, this is the third term. So you go on and on, right?
Yes.
N must be bigger than the 16.5. So it cannot be 16. So the next one will be 17. So it has to be the 17th term.
Why can't it be 18?
Can, but the first one.
Oh, okay.
The first one, right? It can be 19 also. Right? But they want the first incident that it becomes positive. So it has to be the 17th term, right? It cannot be 16.5, right? There was no such term, right? Okay? Then that's how you answer this question. Hence solve the inequality, determine the value of A. Yeah, done. 17. Okay?
Okay.
And okay, this one, question 6, should be quite simple.
Yes.
Let me see your approach. 这个 6. So remember the formula. Okay, so this one, open the bracket, yes, first arrow, second arrow, then so underline similar term. So hold on, your this one plus 7, right? How come
it's x plus, no, 2x plus 7.
Oh, so there is a 2x. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, there's a.
So there is a 2x
Yes.
plus 7 here also.
No.
Oh, okay.
Over here, over there is 7.
Oh, 7. Okay, good. So there is a 7 here minus 15, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then how come your this 4 you move it over become never change the sign?
Oh, it's supposed to be minus 4.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why, right? Let me show you one of my students' work. So all these matters because it's all these small little details, right? If you don't pay attention to, then you will tend to make careless mistakes like this. Then you don't score already. Okay. So let me show you one of my students' work, so that you also won't make this mistake next time. All my students, I suggest them to start off with this way of doing the questions. So let me just grab just this piece. So this is one of my students' work. Oh, I know why already. I can only drag it to the PowerPoint. Can you see? I asked them to underline similar term. Once they underline, right? Can you see that plus 4 here? They underline even with the. Sorry, let me just get it to another page. I also underline even with the sign. Can you see? They underline with the sign as well, right? So if they underline with the sign, they use the arrow, then they will. So okay, when you move over, right? Whenever you move over, you know that it's change sign.
Yeah.
And whenever you don't need to move, that means same position, just copy down. Okay? Okay?
Yes.
So this student make a mistake, right?
Yes. It's supposed to be minus 4, minus 3.
Correct. And by the way, I just want you to check. If you get answer like this, you better check. Yeah. The answer doesn't look right. Okay? So for your one,
So my 2.
so let me just okay, so it's 2x plus 7 minus 3x minus 15 equals to 4. So I will underline, so minus x, because just 2 minus 3 is minus 1.
Yeah.
Is 4 minus plus
15
minus. Okay, no x. So I just let my calculator do the job for me.
Yes.
So this is 19, 12, right?
12.
So x equal to minus 12. This is the equation, cannot switch sign already. So it's minus 12. Yeah.
Why is negative x suddenly change it to negative 12?
How, divide by negative 1, right?
Oh.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay? Okay?
Yes.
So, yeah. Okay, remember the underline how? Remember. Until you have practiced enough, then. Okay, by the way, right, you put the x on the right hand side, right? This is not the convention. Convention means generally we put the x on the left hand side. We don't want to put the letter on the right hand side. The right hand side is always the number. Right? Right? So yeah. Here, looks like you prefer the cross multiply method, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So this one is 21. Okay. So once again, you move over, it's become plus. Okay, good. Looks good. So once again, this one. Some students, they just make mistake, Actually, you divide by 22 on both sides. No harm writing it down. So you get y here again. Some students, they just take 22 over 21, Let me show you. saying. If you put it like this, right?
Yes.
Some students, right? They just
Minus divide by
I don't know lah. They just write this It's wrong. So therefore, I don't suggest you to do it any other way than just. How do you get x? You divide by 3, right?
Yes.
Then if you divide by 3 on the side, you need to divide by 3 on this side.
Yes.
So therefore, it's hard to make mistake if you write it in this way. If you never write this, it can be this way.
Yes.
Okay? So what I'm trying to teach my students is, I know they tend to make mistake, but I'm trying to teach them how to avoid making mistakes by doing steps like this. Okay? So this one is correct. Next. Alright, so this is the expression. Looks like you make that common mistake. If there is a minus sign here,
It's a plus
the one right behind the minus sign must put a bracket. If they don't give you a bracket, you must put a bracket yourself.
Why?
You just have to put a bracket. Because if you don't put a bracket, right? Okay, you put a bracket first, okay? You put a bracket, it shows that you minus the entire thing. If you don't put a minus, you don't put a bracket, right? You minus the 5, yes, and which is not right. You're supposed to write. You're okay. You read this one. Is the 3 minus the entire thing, okay?
Yeah.
That's why you need to put a bracket. Okay? If you never put a bracket, right, you just minus the 5,
Okay.
which is not right. Okay? So this is a very, very common mistake among students. Okay? If it's a plus, then no need lah, huh? If it's a minus, then you have to add a bracket there. Okay? So this answer is wrong. So it should be yeah, something like this. Okay? Should be plus. Should be plus. Yeah. So question 7 is a HCF and so this kind of question, I think it appeared in your term 1.
Yes.
Did you manage to score for this term 1?
No.
No.
No, this HCF, yes, but like the A2 is like
A2,
yeah,
A
it's
part 2.
like
You don't get it?
no,
Okay. And can you get it now?
not really.
Not really,
but I
yeah.
think
You think you are right?
I'm not sure if I'm right.
Okay, good.
Like,
So let me just show you my way of doing it, okay? So for as a product or prime factor, I don't think you have problem because this is just the I see your working already. It's like there are like 2 and you get 72 and 2. You can use calculator.
yes.
Don't try to use your
Because
brain
my
too much.
school they doesn't allow calculator.
For this question?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They doesn't like allow us to bring calculator into the exam.
Oh, okay,
Exam
good.
to
Then
use
you
it.
have to do it like this way,
Use our brain.
yeah. So product or prime factor. So I see at 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 2.
Yeah.
Then I have 3 to the power 2 3 lah. So 3 to the power 2 lah. Okay, or 3 square. So 144 is for part 1 is this answer. Okay. Next, find the smallest integer cube for such that it's a cube. So this kind of question, right? So what you need to do is you already express your 144 in this format. Then you just get it into that format first. Actually, the question is linked. So now you need to times a cube such that this can be cube rooted. So just ask yourself, can you cube root this?
No.
So you need to give it how many 2? 2 more 2s.
2 more.
Right?
Yes.
So therefore it can be cube rooted. So that means your cube have 2 more 2s. Can you square root your this? Can you cube root your this? Cannot. You need to give 1 more 3, right?
Yes.
So therefore your cube should be 2 square times 3, which is 12. So your cube smallest is 12.
So it is like so it is like if like you're missing, so it's 2 squared because like there's a 2.
I can give you another question, which I can better explain it, and maybe you can also explain it yourself after one more example. Just a simple one, Square. So first thing first.
2, 3 cannot be.
Yeah. So how?
So you need one.
One more 2.
Yes, one more 2.
So it consists of 2.
Yes.
This one can or not?
Yes.
Can, no need. This one can or not?
Yes.
Then Q equals to 2. Done.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
Okay.
Yes, okay. Got
Okay. So the smallest means you try not to give it. If you don't need to give it, you don't give it. Okay.
Okay, I got it now.
Yeah. This is times.
So like what like the number
What if it's
like
divide,
is missing?
Yeah,
you,
missing.
Like,
Yeah.
you just
To make it.
make the Q that the missing.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
So it's times. Okay. Hold on. What about divide? Divide means what? Divide means remove, right?
Yes.
Divide means remove. Okay. So for this question, right? You need to remove. So maybe I give it cube. So first thing first, you ask yourself, can this be cube rooted?
Yes.
Yes. Can this be cube rooted?
No.
So you need to remove
1 and 3.
1, 3, right?
Yes.
Then for this one,
You need to add 1 more.
no, you cannot add because it's divide. Divide is remove.
Then
You need to remove
one
both.
more. Remove both.
If you remove, let's say you remove one,
It'll be fat. It cannot.
cannot. So you
Yeah.
need to remove both.
Yes.
So it's 3 or 75.
Yes.
Make sense?
Yes.
So times is how many you need to give it. The less the better. So for the below is remove. Okay. So that's how you get this. Okay. Okay, good. So we can take a 5-minute break. Then yeah. Okay.